The Formula One teams have arrived in Barcelona, and the stage is set for some big changes on the starting grid. The usual order we're used to might shift quite a bit, thanks to new rules focused on limiting how much the front wings can bend. This adjustment is aimed at making the competition closer for everyone. Every team is bringing a redesigned front wing to this race, and some, like McLaren Mercedes, rely heavily on their wings' flexibility to get an edge. So, what should we expect when the Barcelona Grand Prix gets underway? More importantly, who stands to gain the most from this event that fans have been eagerly waiting for? If there's one race that has been circled on many calendars, it's this one. The limit on front wing flexibility is tightening up. After the rear wing restrictions introduced in China earlier this season, the FIA is hoping the ninth race will address many of the problems teams have raised so far. Previously, teams were allowed up to 15 millimeters of front wing movement during the first 8 races. Starting now, that limit drops to 10 millimeters, with stricter inspections in place. If you think a 5 millimeter difference isn't a big deal, you might be surprised. In Formula One, even the smallest change can have a major impact. This change could completely reshape the competitive landscape. It might push some leading teams down the order or suddenly turn teams like Ferrari into serious contenders for race wins. The FIA decided that something had to be done after seeing the season opener in Australia, where the flexibility of the wings was a big topic. The reason the front wing rule is taking longer to come into effect compared to the rear wing is because front wings are more complex and take longer to design and test. Teams were given 4 months to prepare for the new rules, so this is not just a minor update in the regulations. It could significantly affect the level of competition. The new directive, called TD018, which will start from this weekend's race, does not imply any team was running illegal cars before. Flexibility in the wings is a controversial subject, and the FIA's goal is to stop teams from pushing the limits too far. This is exactly why the allowed wing movement is being cut down by 5 millimeters. McLaren is seen by many as the team that might be hit hardest by this change, since they have demonstrated strong front wing movement, especially in slower and medium-speed corners. Looking at the comparison of the front wings of the top 4 teams, it's clear why many expect Barcelona to shake things up. You might wonder why front wing flexibility even matters for how the car handles. It's pretty straightforward. Wings that create less drag allow the car to reach higher speeds on the straights, but tend to reduce downforce in corners. Making a car fast on the straightaway is not difficult. The real challenge is balancing that with enough stability in the turns, which is where wing flexibility plays a key role. Team leaders have also shared their thoughts on these new changes. Mercedes' Toto Wolff pointed out that Ferrari deserves close attention as the season moves forward. The team from Maranello has been cautious with how much their front and rear wings flex. Now that other teams will have less wing movement, Ferrari could find themselves closer to the front again. While Charles Leclerc mentioned there are still areas to improve, especially in slower corners, their second-place finish in Monaco shows the gap might not be as big as some expected. Wolff added some more about what Barcelona and the rest of the season could look like. Ferrari has probably been the most careful with wing flexibility. How this affects the running order is something we have to watch closely. I'm not sure what will happen, but it's definitely an interesting situation. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly's team, Alpine, is also taking a slow and steady approach, with upgrades. Even though many expected a big upgrade in Imola, they chose to split their improvements into smaller parts over the triple-header races. The upgrades planned for Barcelona will complement the new front-wing rules. Gasly commented, "Barcelona is important for everyone because of the front-wing regulations. We have been working on this for a while, and it could change things for all teams, though we don't yet know exactly how it will affect each one. We'll watch closely this weekend to understand the impact." Red Bull, another team who has raised concerns about wing flexibility, believes the new rules will help their driver Max Verstappen. They think it will make it easier for him to stay closer to the McLarens especially since the points gap between first and third in the driver standings is only 25 right now. Verstappen has already shown he doesn't always need the fastest car to compete for the championship. If these new rules do balance things out, the Drivers' Championship could see some big shifts. Max's team boss added, "The car worked well on faster tracks earlier in the year. As we head back to similar circuits, the new regulations could make a difference. It might not change everything, but it will definitely have some impact. We don't yet know how it will affect other teams, and it might even change tire wear or speed in unexpected ways. So, we expect this weekend to reveal a lot." Another team drawing a lot of attention is McLaren. Their racing director, Andrea Stella, doesn't think the new rules will hurt them much. In fact, he believes some rival teams might be worrying about the wrong things, which could actually benefit McLaren. Addressing concerns that Barcelona's regulations might reduce their advantage, Stella said, "It's good when our competitors focus on areas of our car that aren't really an issue. Even if wing flexibility is a factor, it's not the main reason for our competitiveness. I hope these discussions keep happening because it means our rivals are distracted, which works in our favor." Meanwhile, Bernie Collins, a former Aston's Martin engineer who now works as a pundit, pointed out an interesting detail. He said the media and fans don't really know if any team has failed the new front wing tests before Barcelona. All the talk about performance is mostly guesswork. It's unclear whether McLaren's edge is down to their wing design or other factors like tire cooling and brake systems. Interestingly, when some rumors about illegal electronic aids surfaced, the FIA stepped in to clarify the rules, but McLaren faced some tire performance issues for a while. Collins expects that Barcelona will shed light on how much the new front wing tests matter because the front wing is the first part of the car to meet the air. It controls how the airflow moves across the rest of the vehicle. He explained, "We'll see if anyone struggles because of the new front wing parts on Thursday. If some cars suffer from more tire wear or lower top speeds, that will be noticeable. If a car can't keep the usual straight-line speed, that's where we'll spot the difference. So there's a lot to watch for, and this should make Barcelona even more interesting." Considering all these changes and the new regulations in place, many are wondering how the Barcelona Grand Prix will shape up. The fresh technical rules could bring surprises, potentially reshuffling the order we've seen in previous races. Fans and experts alike are keen to see if the updated front wing limits will really tighten the competition, or if some teams will manage to hold their ground. The new restrictions mean teams will have to carefully balance speed and control, especially in corners where downforce is crucial. While some cars might gain more from the changes, others may face new challenges. It's clear that any slight difference in wing flexibility can have a domino effect on how well the car performs on track. The coming race will provide some answers about which teams adapted best to the updated rules. With the grid now more unpredictable, every practice session, qualifying lap, and race stint will carry extra weight. Drivers will need to adjust their approach as teams test the limits of their new setups. The outcome in Barcelona might signal the direction the rest of the season will take, making it a pivotal event for championship hopefuls. What remains certain is that this race will be a major talking point in Formula One circles for weeks to come. Whether the rules level the playing field or reinforce existing strengths, the action on track will be worth following closely. This weekend could mark a turning point, and every team will be pushing hard to make the most of the new conditions. Looking closer at the technical side, the front wing plays a crucial role in how a Formula One car handles air. Since it's the first part to meet the airflow, any change to its shape or flexibility affects the entire car's balance. Teams spend countless hours designing these wings to find the best compromise between speed and grip. Reducing the allowed movement by 5 millimeters might seem small, but in a sport where milliseconds count, it can change lap times and tire wear significantly. The new tests will be tougher, forcing teams to rethink their designs and how they use wing flexibility to their advantage. Some teams might find it easier to adapt, while others could struggle to maintain their performance levels. This makes the upcoming races critical for understanding who has prepared best. Some teams have been very conservative with their wing designs all along, possibly expecting stricter rules to come in eventually. Others took bigger risks with more flexible wings to gain an early edge, which now might backfire. All eyes will be on how teams perform in qualifying and the race itself to see who gains or loses ground. The battle at the front of the grid could get much tighter, with even midfield teams hoping to close the gap. As always, strategy and driver skill will play a huge role in who comes out on top. As the Barcelona Grand Prix approaches, it's clear that the changes to front-wing regulations will bring fresh challenges and opportunities. This weekend could be a defining moment for many teams, influencing how the rest of the season unfolds. Some squads might find themselves back in the hunt, while others may need to rethink their approach quickly. What's exciting is that, despite all the technical rules and tests, Formula One remains unpredictable. The smallest details can make a big difference, and the driver's ability to adapt will be tested as much as the engineers. Whether the new limits on wing flexibility truly level the playing field or simply shake up the usual order, fans can expect plenty of intense racing and strategic battles. The next few races will reveal who managed to adjust best and who needs more work. One thing is certain: the fight for the championship just got even more interesting. So, as the teams roll into Barcelona, all eyes will be on the track to see how this new chapter in the season plays out. Thanks for sticking with this update. If you have thoughts about the regulation changes or predictions for the race, feel free to share them below. Stay tuned for more insights and coverage as the season continues.